Sheikh, critics would ask you the question, how much is the cows and cattle contributing to the Nigerian economy? That will warrant a group of persons who feel their cattle have been rustled by criminals, and not by state actors, but by criminals who take up arms against fellow citizens who are suffering the same problem they're going through.
Yes, maybe about, I can say maybe 10% of the herders are the criminals, but 90% in the end, they took up weapons to protect themselves from extinction. This is the truth I'm telling you about. 90%, that's why they are ready. One, to lay down their arms. Two, they themselves, they can take care of the little remnants of the band of the criminals among them, because they don't want anybody to bring mayhem to them. So I think if there is a general amnesty, they are going to lay down their arms. They told us they are ready. So when somebody says ready to lay down his arms, you are saying no, you should not. You should continue fighting. And when they fight, they are the ones that are inflicting injury and inflicting harm to people. That you don't have there the military and the police to protect you. So I don't know what the logic we're using now. And let me give you an example of what people don't know about the Fulani. Look at what is happening in Ibadan. What is happening in Ibadan? Suddenly the Yorubas in Ibadan, not all of them, suddenly some few Yorubas in Ibadan decided to attack Hausas. Why? Because I don't know, whatever it is, they say Hausa, you see injustice going on without doing anything. If people who are supposed to be educated, who have schools, who have roads, who have any amenities of the government, can use, what do you call it, can suddenly attack innocent people they had been together with, innocently, because some other people did something. What do you expect somebody in the bush who's never schooled, who's never anything? So the Fulani herdsmen are fighting based on ethnic and tribal affiliations, just like the Yorubas are doing now in the south. In the south, the same thing, the same mentality. So Nigerians, whether educated or not educated, we need really to have another national orientation to see that how we live as a nation.
All right, Sheikh, as someone who has been in this conflict resolution advocacy for a long time now, do you think it is sustainable to continue to negotiate and, of course, grant amnesty to those who take up arms against the government and, of course, killing arbitrarily, sacking people from their farms and, of course, involved in all kinds of crime and criminality? Won't this kind of development send wrong signals to criminal-minded elements in other parts of the country who may be tempted to also take up arms against the states to draw government's attention to their plight?
No, it's not possible to have another group just like the herdsmen have, because the herdsmen, they are conditioned by the environment they live to resist.
Sheikh, we had the Niger Delta crisis many years ago, and in 2009, amnesty was granted. Not too long ago, I think within that same year, the issue of terrorism, which we are still battling, emerged in Borno State, and now we are having the problem of banditry. What's the guarantee that we will not have another kind or another dimension to this crisis from another region of the country?
Yes, well, the guarantee we have is that the Boko Haram are using the Sambisa forest as a castle, as a sanctuary for them. And the Fulani herdsmen are using the various forests in the northern states as a, what do you call it, sanctuary for them. And the creeks is for the Niger Delta. Besides that, you don't have anywhere for criminals to hide. So once we get the Fulani to lay down their arm, and then we can be able to man our forest and protect it from any other group from taking it over, I think it will be over. And in fact, as I've said, the Niger Deltans were protecting the pipelines. This Fulani, the good ones, can protect our forests, and I'm sure they can do it.
Sheikh Gumi, you said that earlier that the bandits who are now kidnapping people and committing all sorts of crimes learnt their kidnapping from the Niger Delta militants, because they did that some years back.
Yes, it's not, you see, social behavior is learned by induction. It's not when you see that other people are doing something and are getting profit from it, you will definitely do it.
But Sheikh, you've also said that you've also said that these people are stark illiterate and really ignorant about what's going on around them. How would they learn such vices from faraway places like the Niger Delta?
No, when I'm saying they're ignorant, they have their trip to the south. You see, the Fulani man, when he goes into the south, like the ones they have been driven away, people have seen their change in behavior. They start drinking alcohol, they try taking drugs and all these things, which they don't do in the north because their parents are there. So it's actually when they change their, what do you call it, behavior, it is when they have this migration. And it's a particular age range. Those who are the cattle rearers, when they leave their young offsprings in the north, or the older ones, you don't have this behavior in them at all. Even as I'm talking of now, it's a small range group of youth that are involved in this kidnapping. And we see how we are talking with them, and they are ready to stop this way. So I don't see the logic why there should be any argument about negotiating with them at all. I don't see.
Sheikh, you've also said these people were driven into committing these crimes because of socio-economic factors. If there were, you said there were herdsmen doing genuine jobs and their cattle were rustled, they didn't have any money, they were forced into a life of crime. If there were in that socio-economic material situation which they couldn't sustain their businesses anymore, how then did they have money to buy these sophisticated combat weapons we've seen with them?
That's a very good question for you. That's why they are kidnapping, that's why they are treating their victims inhumanly. They are extorting people to get money to buy weapons more and more.
But they must get weapons to commit the crimes in the first place.
No.
So the weapons comes first before the crime.
No. They get with weapons to protect them. Look, when they go into towns, they are lynched. They don't go into towns, they don't go into markets. So how do they get their money to protect themselves from the incursion of the military? Is to in the night they go out and kidnap rich people to get money to buy the weapons. Now what I heard even from one victim of them, when he was able to pay his money, they said, yes, we are collecting this money to buy anti-aircraft missiles.
All right.
So you can imagine. We are putting pressure on a group of people which we can use other methods, kinetic methods to palliate the issue, but we are not doing what we are supposed to do.
All right.